The George County football team had to grow up in a hurry last season, but now the Rebels are ahead of schedule heading into 2023, led by star quarterback Deuce Knight. For the county, it all starts at team camp at stop number 6 on News 25's 25 Teams in 25 Days.
Offense, defense, it's competition all 3 days.
It's really just being competitive, so we all play football, we all competitive guys, so like us just going back and forth with each other. We'll be out here trying to see who can hit the crossbar, see who can throw the farthest, things like that. Brings you close together, just compete.
For the 3rd straight year, George County wrapping up summer workouts with a 2-night stay at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College, where the Rebels just went through their 5th practice in 3 days before catching a bus back to Lucedale. Competition aside, it's all about building trust at team camp leading up to week 1.
2 things we look for when we come to camp. 1, let's get better. Let's work on the things that we're doing. And 2, when we leave here, we're a better team than we were when we got here.
See the temperature, it's hot out here, we on the turf, and we coming out here every day and working, so yeah, we can battle through this 2-3 times a day. We're going to be able to get through Friday night.
At times in 2022, Friday nights were a struggle for George County, fresh off the program's first home playoff game in 5 years the season before. The Rebels brought back only 8 seniors and started more than a dozen sophomores en route to an overall record of just 2-8, with 5 of those losses decided by a single possession.
Losing a close game feel worse than getting blown now. Like, you just right there and you just can't finish it. That's a terrible feel.
There were some losses that was really close. That could have, like 1 point, that's a lot of motivation for me.
Old coach told me a long time ago, for every sophomore you put on the field, you can just count for a loss. And I'm glad we didn't play 14 games last year, you know, and none of them wanted to hear about we lost those games because how young we were. They all talked about we lost those games because they didn't produce in certain situations. So it was good to see them take ownership of that.
The 2023 Rebels much more experienced on both sides of the ball, returning 7 starters on offense, 8 on defense, as well as 22 seniors eager to redefine their legacy.
I think we're out to prove we're better than we was last year. A lot better.
Been on a mission since after that 2-8 season. You know, everybody got faster, stronger. We're ready to compete, and we're coming this year for real.
Nobody remembers losers. Not trying to diss us or anything, but we coming out, we putting the work in to change this around, do something special here.
Adding to George County's bulk of upperclassmen is a junior bunch about 30 deep, including the state's top quarterback for the class of 2025, Deuce Knight. The 4-star recruit is coming off a 23-touchdown sophomore season and is now in the midst of a pretty hectic summer, having already made college visits to Tennessee, LSU, and Alabama, with more scheduled this week for Notre Dame and Ole Miss, as well as other trips to Los Angeles for OT7 Nationals and Atlanta for Cam Newton's 7-on-7 tournament, where Knight got to meet his childhood idol. Despite releasing a top 10 list earlier this summer, he says his recruitment is still wide open.
You know, you got the best player in the nation back there. You ain't got too much to worry about on the offense, and he's going to come through. So first off, none of it would be possible without my teammates, my coaches, my parents, so just give a little shout out to them. But yeah, it feels great just knowing like your hard work is paying off, and then you got the chance to go fulfill your dreams, go play ball at a big Division I.
He's not the same quarterback he was last year. I mean, he's so much better than he was last year. So much more poise, so much more confidence. Confidence in himself, confidence in his team, confidence in his coaches, and the plays that we're installing. So yeah, I mean, he is going to have that breakout year. He has no choice. He's put in the work.
Knight's teammates have been putting in that same work, setting the stage for an offense that's ready to explode, headlined by another 3-star recruit, senior wide receiver Marlon Odom. On the other side of the ball, leading tackler Leighton Hyatt returns, as well as other key contributors Tyrone Coleman and yet another 3-star recruit, Cole Bradley. Together, the Rebels continue their unfinished quest for immortality under 4th-year head coach James Ray.
Our motto the same every year. We're on a mission to bring this program back to a championship level of significance.
It means do everything right, do the little things right, everything at home, and run around town and all that, and here, and the weight room and everything, do all the little things right.
They want the feeling from 2 years ago, not the feeling from last year. You know, the one thing we talk about is visualize how you want to walk off the field after a game. You know, see that celebration. and remember what it tasted like not to have that celebration.
1, 2, 3, Rebels!
George County opens up the new campaign with a home game against East Central on August 25th. Looking forward to high school football season.